I've never played a video game that killed me so fast, so often, and so joyfully. I'm Elliot, welcome to Short Games. Today we're talking about Disc Room. Disc Room is a brutal dodge 'em up set in the year 2089. You're a tiny scientist trying to survive a series of gauntlets and you're going to die. A lot. Disc Room is a masterclass in how much you can do with a simple space, one mechanic, and 1,000 tiny design decisions made with love. Let's dive in. So yeah, you play as a lone scientist. You're exploring a giant alien disk that appeared in orbit around Jupiter. It's not a sprawling galaxy or an open world, it's a tightly connected network of death chambers. Every room you step into is filled with spinning saw blades, and each one is more sadistic than the last. Your job is to survive as long as you can in each one. Sometimes that's 10 seconds. Sometimes it's 2 seconds. Usually it's somewhere in between, and always you die. There are no guns, no attacks, just movement. And it works because every room is a single screen. There's really no enemies to chase. There's just space and timing and patterns. That constraint is Disc Room's greatest strength, and it's a brilliant decision in scope. A fixed screen means designers can fully control spatial dynamics. They know exactly how each blade will move, what kind of tension they're creating, and how long they want you to last. It feels like a boss fight arena, except instead of building up to one big battle, Disc Room gives you dozens of these encounters, and they're smart about how they escalate. One room might introduce a disc that pulses outward, and another will pair that with one that tracks your movement. It's modular design in the best way. New mechanics are introduced, then remixed, and then pushed to their limit. And there's a timer. It's such an elegant little pressure valve. Most rooms just ask you to survive for 10 or 15 seconds. And that doesn't sound like much, but it immediately changes how you approach the game. You're not trying to win, you're trying to endure. You stop thinking about clearing enemies and start thinking about positioning, prediction, patience. It gives the game a rhythm, a pace. You feel your brain start to adapt after a few seconds, and then it's over. And the timer doesn't always count up. There's a puzzle element to a lot of these rooms where you might have to survive 5 seconds, but it's up to you to figure out how to make the timer start counting. Even in failure, you're making progress. And that's one of the smartest things about this game. Every room has multiple goals. Survive a set number of seconds, have a set number of discs kill you, unlock a secret. It reframes failure as exploration, which makes the whole experience more generous and much more fun. That progression system is tied to a map that's surprisingly satisfying just to open and explore. There's always more than one direction to go. So if you hit a wall, you can pivot. You can try a new power. You can come back later. It's not quite a Metroidvania, but it has a similar rhythm of growing, of revisiting, of mastering. And I think that's key to why the game stays fresh. It never forces you to brute force your way through a single room. It trusts that you find your own path. And then there's the power-ups. Another amazing example of game design. As you play, you unlock new abilities. A dash, time slowdown mechanic, a clone move. You can only equip one at a time. And that's such a good decision. Instead of stacking upgrades endlessly, the game asks you to make real choices. What kind of player are you? What does this room need? It turns loadout selection into a kind of problem solving, and it gives you a reason to revisit rooms with new tools, seeing old challenges in a new light. And the visual language helps a lot too. Disc Room looks simple at first glance, big chunky outlines, a muted color palette, but it's doing a lot of work. Every disc is immediately readable. You see them, you know what they do, you learn their patterns, you anticipate and survive. Every animation is crystal clear. And when the screen is full of chaos, you know what killed you and why. It's the kind of design that ages well because it prioritizes clarity over flash. It reminds me of Nuclear Throne or Downwell. Games where the art is in service of the mechanics. The same goes for the sound design. The buzz of the saws. The squelch when you die. The low ambient hum of the ship. It all adds weight, and the music builds dynamically as you survive. It's subtle, but it creates this rising tension that mirrors your performance. The longer you last, the more intense and alive the sound becomes. Until you die, and then silence. That loop, the survive, learn, die, repeat, it never really gets old because Disc Room keeps feeding you something new. A new room, a new disc, a new twist, and you keep going. Not because you're grinding for gear or chasing XP, but because the game keeps asking better questions. What if the discs moved like this? What if you're the one triggering the hazards? It's not content for content's sake. It's an honest exploration of a design space. And honestly, that's the thing I admire most about it. As a player, I love the intensity, but as a designer, I just sit back and go, damn. This is how you manage scope. This is how you take a tight, clear concept and stretch it in every direction without losing focus. It's pure, it's confident, and it doesn't waste a second of your time. This game was made by 4 people: Terry, JW, Kitty, and Dose One, the same crew behind Minute, Sludge Life, and Nuclear Throne. These are developers who know how to make a weird, stylish, endlessly playable game, and Disc Room might be their most distilled work yet. This game launched back in 2020. It wasn't on my radar, and I'm so glad I found it now because it feels timeless. They're not chasing trends. There's just clean design, lovingly executed. Looks good now, and it'll look good in 20 years. So yeah, play Disc Room. It's one of the tightest little games I've ever played, and it's also one of the smartest. If you care about game design, Disc Room is essential. If you just want something fun to scream at, Disc Room is also essential. It's $15 on Steam and Switch. It plays incredibly well on the Steam Deck. And there's a demo if you want to try it first. But honestly, just trust me and buy it. And drop a comment below to let me know how long you survived in the first room. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with a friend that you think might like Disc Room. Give us a like and subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. To follow along our studio's journey and be one of the first people to playtest our debut game, follow us on Substack. I'll drop a link in the description. Until next time, I'm Elliot from Human Computer. Thank you for watching.